In this video, we are going to show you a couple of extra tips and tricks for using the LogMeIn program. So let's click on our LogMeIn icon down on our taskbar, and we'll be signed into the LogMeIn client program. I'll click on my computer and select the first button, which gives me remote control to my office computer. Type in our username, our password, and select our network name, which in my case is Micro Support. Click on OK. Here we are at our office computer. We can click on Login, and it will pass our Windows username and our Windows password since it already knew it for us. We'll go full screen here. So in our previous video, we showed how the office computer had two monitors, but I only have one monitor here at home. So I have to click on this button to switch between monitor 2 and monitor 1. And we see how that works here. If I got a second screen at home and I wanted to have both of my office screens open up on separate monitors, we click on the Options menu, and then Monitors, and then on Multi-Monitor. And what this will do, it will open up a separate window for each of my monitors that I have in my office. So if I had a second monitor here at home, I could now move this monitor 2 over to that second monitor. Let me put them back into one here. The other thing that we can show, if we go into full screen mode, we said notice how we have black bars on the top and the bottom. I have a larger screen at my office than I do here at home. So my home monitor has to scale down my screen to fit. This is why we have these extra black bars on the top and the bottom. We can change it temporarily and have the LogMeIn client program display our office screens in the best resolution possible for our home monitor. Go back to Options, and we click on this 1/3 from the end. You see one box in front of the other. That's saying the resolution that our screen is currently at. But if we click on that and say Match Resolution, you're going to notice that the top and bottom bars go away because the LogMeIn client program is now changed so my home monitor can see the office screen as large as I can. Notice there was a little message that popped up there saying we're not at the optimal resolution, but that's okay. When I disconnect from my office monitor, the monitor there back in the office will go back to its normal resolution. But that's how we can get rid of those top and bottom bars. We'll go back into Options. A few other things that we could do there, but the biggest thing that we would need to know is this next button here, which is the way we can send Control-Alt-Delete to our computer in the office. Control-Alt-Delete is a special set of keys on our keyboard. When we press them, that demands the computer's immediate attention. However, that's the computer that we're actually touching the keyboard on, not the computer in our office. So if we had to press Control-Alt-Delete for our computer in the office, we would click on this button. If we put our mouse pointer there, it says Control-Alt-Delete. Send Control-Alt-Delete key combination to the host. Remember, the host is the computer in the office. So for example, if I locked our office computer screen, I'll say lock, and we could take the shortcut for logging back in, but again, sometimes we need to send that Control-Alt-Delete to our office computer. Click on this little icon, the one box stacked up on top of the two boxes, and it will send that Control-Alt-Delete to our office computer. And I could now type in my password, or I could do whatever else I needed to do at this point. Again, since we're using the LogMeIn client program, it's smart enough to be able to tell our office computer our Windows username and our Windows password, so we can click on the Login button. Okay. You probably won't encounter this, but if your office computer was playing audio or streaming music, you would hear that through your computer at home. You can adjust the volume up and down here by clicking and sliding, or you can mute the audio coming from the computer just by clicking on the little picture of the speaker, and you can turn it back on again by clicking on that button. Again, this is changing the audio of the computer in your office, not the computer in your house. Okay, let me go out of full screen mode here. And we showed most of those things. Just going to close our session down for now. Remember, we need to leave the computer at the office running so we can sign in. However, we never want to leave the computer at the office running programs. If we have Microsoft Word or Time Matters or Time Slips or something running on the computer in the office, we want to close those programs down when we're done for the day. This is not only when we're logging in via remote, but this is also when we're working in the office. If for some reason the power was to go out on the computer, those files that we had opened could potentially become corrupted and unreadable. Additionally, if we're using a program like Time Matters or Time Slips or QuickBooks or something like that, and we leave it open and the program crashed, we could potentially damage the data for that entire program. So it's always a good idea to close the programs on your office computer when you leave for the day, whether you're physically in the office or if you are remoting in with LogMeIn. Okay, so I have no programs running. I'm going to close our LogMeIn session. And for right now, I'll leave the LogMeIn client program open. This next button can be useful sometimes. It allows us to transfer files between our home computer and our office computer. So if we click on that button, it opens up a screen. Again, we have to sign into our computer. If I would have left our LogMeIn session open, I wouldn't have had to sign in there again. But on the left-hand side, it shows files that I have on my computer here at home, and on the right-hand side, it shows what's on the computer at the office. So, for example, if I needed to transfer something to the computer at the office, I can select that. I can select the different drives that I would see on the server, like the N drive. Or in this case, I'm just going to put something on the desktop. So I'll select the desktop folder on my office computer. And I will select the downloads folder on my home computer. So if I wanted to transfer this program to my office computer, I can pick it up, drag it, and drop it over on the office computer. It will ask me if I'm sure that that's what I want to do. We'll click OK. And that'll take a few seconds for it to transfer to the office computer. And there we go. So let me just minimize this for a moment. I'm going to go back to my remote session for my office computer. And click on the Login button. And if we look, we will see this program that I just transferred is now on my desktop on my office computer. You can use that file transfer to copy computers either to your office from your home or from your office back to your home. So that's a very handy thing to have. Let me just close that program as well. These other two aren't something that you would very likely use, so there's no real need to go in through that. Close the program here. We're going to exit it. And let me discuss two other items. When you are using LogMeIn from home and you connect to your office computer, you will never experience the speed of your office computer in your home. The network in the office works at a much, much faster rate than the network and the internet connection at home. Just as they say, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, a network connection is only as fast as the slowest link. Most people will be using Wi-Fi at home when they connect to the internet and connect to their office. Wi-Fi is much, much slower. We don't notice this when we do things like check email or web browse. Sometimes when we're using Wi-Fi, we will see the video stream buffering, but in most instances, it's okay. We don't really mind that. When we are connecting from our home computer to our office computer via Wi-Fi and using LogMeIn, the experience is going to be much slower. So please keep this in mind and please try to be patient. That's it. In the next video, we will show you an item for enhancing security for your LogMeIn session.